All right. Are we rolling? Are we actually live? I don't see anything right now though. I'm gonna give the video a second to buffer. Do I hear myself? All right. Are we rolling? I do hear myself. That already sounds plenty, loud enough to me. So, um, I think we're gonna get to it. Let me check some of this audio real quick. That seems fine. All right. Well, I need to go ahead and I wonder if I can I pin a message? Um, can I pin my own? Yes, I have now pinned my own message. Okay. Welcome back to the Quiet Part YouTube channel. Today we have a very fun and exciting stream planned. Honestly, a very journalistic stream is kind of what I would call it. In this stream, I intend to do a full and complete breakdown, deep dive analysis of No Kings 2 Electric Boogaloo, which apparently the Electric Boogaloo meme is like a dog whistle or something. I've just learned to say it at the end of 2. Maybe I'll do the Star Wars variant. What is episode 2's subtitle? I can't remember. The Phantom Menace? No. So we're going to be doing a full and complete breakdown of the different happenings and goings on throughout No Kings 2, the giant, gargantuan protest that took place 2 days ago here on Saturday, October 18th, 2025. So what is it we're going to be looking at and in what order? Well, for starters, this is going to be like a very long, slow, slightly unorganized stream. So I'm going to be saying a lot, and I'm going to be going kind of slowly. First of all, I'm going to take you through pretty much all of my footage, all of the footage I want to show you. That's going to be a plain and notable thing to begin with. First up, I document these protests because I support these protests, okay? The act of civil disobedience per the civil rights movement is not always something that perfectly follows every civil and criminal law in existence, right? So the legalistic fallacy, the fallacy of law, I don't remember what it's called. Just because something is legal, that doesn't make it moral. Just because something is illegal, that doesn't make it deeply immoral. Going 10 miles per hour over the speed limit is not necessarily deeply immoral. It's just maybe 2% more reckless or something, right? There are all kinds of tiny things that people do that I don't think should be considered immoral. Like, I think many of the acts of Martin Luther King Jr.'s civil rights movement, that shit was all illegal. I thought it was moral as hell. Similarly, I am going to try my absolute best to respect operational security for these protesters, whether they are, flagship and with a main big name group of activist organizations, or whether it was just random people on the street. I am not here to contribute to the doxing or prosecution of protesters for stupid fake charges that the different police departments will throw together in order to have a cooling effect on First Amendment protected free speech and freedom of assembly and my freedom of press to document these things. So I'm going to be totally dead ass with you. Yes, if I, for example, saw a kid like graffiti a sign with like "fuck Trump" or something, I didn't document it. If I saw that, which I'm not saying I ever saw that, and I'm also saying I never didn't not saw that. Yeah, so listen, I'm here to support protesters. If something especially egregious happened, I would still tell you. But when a protest, when a kid writes "fuck Trump" on a sign, sorry, chat, I'm not here to ruin that kid's life for that. Like, that is nothing compared to the president of the United States being in the Epstein files. Like, those are totally different tiers of illegal. And I'm going to treat them really differently. So, yeah, we are going to look at a couple of videos of moments that someone else captured, which is it's going to be complicated. Someone I believe has been arrested as a consequence of what was captured and published. We're going to take a look at my stuff. I'm going to take you slow. I'm going to really give you data, okay? First up, I just want to take a look at literally all of my footage in order. It's not literally 100% all of it. I guess literally doesn't mean factually 100%, but I took out some clips that were like 6 seconds long because like I accidentally pressed record. I got rid of those clips just so we're not wasting our time on them. I don't believe I have censored any of these cameras clips, really, because frankly, I didn't really ever capture anything that could get a person in trouble, actually. Listen, again, I make an effort to not screw over protesters. I support protesting. Especially if a protester does something and it doesn't cause material harm to a person, I don't care. I care, about documenting that. None. It does not matter to me to be a snitch. So keep that in mind. Let's start here. I'm going to have to do a few things as I play these videos. One, I'm showing you essentially videos straight from the camera. There's going to be one file here that is not straight from the camera because it was so large that it had multiple files for one clip, because it was like an hour-and-a-half long clip. I went in and used my joining tool to join those clips together into one contiguous video. Also, I'm going to be telling you the timestamp, the metadata time for each of these clips as well. So we're going to be starting with this clip that we are looking at right now. According to my metadata, this was captured at 11:03 a.m. Created, modified, Monday, October 20th. Yes, so it looks like this was captured October 18th, 2025 at 11:03 a.m. So I guess I got there earlier than I thought. I said 11:30 in the description. We're just going to jump through clips. We're just going to talk about what I saw, and we're going to do it in chronological order. And we're also going to pause and look at some other important events in chronological order. And we're also possibly going to be taking a look at some of the body cam footage I got of myself from my GoPro body cam. A number of notable things happened. If you're already bored with this video, I apologize. If you want to know what the sensationalist headlines are that we're going to be getting to in, I don't know, a long time as I do this breakdown. One, some asshole sports fan, half-drunk dude was calling a bunch of protesters slurs, and then some kids swiped that dude's glasses, and then the old man, after calling people slurs, sprinted after the kid to go kick the kid's ass, and someone tripped the old man, who then got like a bloody temple because he fell on the ground. That happened at some point. The notable thing, I wasn't present for that, by the way, so we're going to be using someone else's articles and someone else's videos and other data for that, because I wasn't there for that firsthand. What I was there firsthand for was, at one point, the Denver Police Department's riot squad or riot team formed a line to deny a march of about 200 protesters access to a highway, and the protesters formed a line parallel to them, and they did their shouting and speaking and communicating, and what's really common in these confrontations, these dialogues almost between riot police, who don't say anything usually, and protesters, is the protesters try to wax poetic and try to speak with the riot police and tell them something. I was there for one of these lines. It was kind of like the last one of the night, essentially, around 7 p.m. And at some point, the protesters, they decided to stop. Not like stop everything, but they decided to stop kind of pushing up on the riot police, and they fell back. They turned away. They turned around and stopped, kind of like, shouting and at the riot police. And I was supporting it. I was chanting with them, hey, let's turn back. There's no reason for anyone to get hurt. I don't want the police to hurt people. But the police clearly did, because what happened is I turned my camera off, being happy and proud that the protesters were like, you know what, fuck it. Like, these cops they're not going to fucking listen to us. And like, fighting them right now is not going to do much for me. So let's turn back. I was happy. I was, I thought it was over. There was going to be no conflict. And then as the protesters turned to leave, the cops fired chemical munitions on them, including pepper balls and I believe CS irritant gas. It was definitely irritant gas because you could taste the air. So those are the two big things I sort of captured, but I want to do a really deep, complicated breakdown on everything. So first video clip I'm showing you right now in front of me was taken at 11:03 a.m. I'll try to say this correctly every time. I am looking at the different screens to make sure I say everything correctly. This is correct to the best of my knowledge and ability. So here we go. Here's the clip. Cool. So I guess I just arrived. And I'm walking through, this is Civic Center Park in downtown Denver, just across from the Capitol building. Some of these are going to be super short, some of these are going to be longer, but they are all in order. I'm going to have to adjust the audio about 10 times because more fun facts. The reason this video you're seeing is going to look so gray is because I record in a log format, which allows me to have more dynamic range and control over the final image in post, so I can make things kind of look pretty and cinematic, and it's just a color correction thing. The consequence of that is that this is going to look low contrast, it's going to look less sharp, but it is going to have really high dynamic range, even though everything looks unsaturated, because this is straight from my camera. I have not color graded this. And also, I'm hearing it, but you shouldn't be, but each of these videos will have audio out of only one ear because I recorded to only one channel throughout the day, and I'm setting it to mono for myself every time I watch. So, this video that we are now watching was taken at 11:05, a couple minutes later. So this is like the main thoroughfare, I guess. Let me turn that up. This is at Civic Center Park, which is directly parallel across from the Colorado State Capitol building. I believe it is separated by a road called Lincoln, and then or Broadway, can't remember, but this is Civic Center Park. You know, this was permitted. More full context on like the origins of the protest itself. I did a thorough deep dive. I just didn't really publish on it because, I don't know, it did seem like I was mostly just me that cared. And someone rightfully mentioned, they're like, I don't think most people really care about this information. But I care about this information. I tried to figure out what organizations were like the main people that organized not 5051, but No Kings, the sort of title for this protest. And what I learned was pretty straightforward. There is a large 501(c) nonprofit political communication organization called Indivisible, which is run by Ezra something and his wife, I think. It's a giant activist organization, nonprofit, that it is national, and it probably has a bunch of money, even though, you know, it's a nonprofit. But it's run by some just, I don't know, kind of Obama-era Democrats is how I describe them. It's just like progressives. I'd say they're pretty corpo progressives, but I mean, a progressive in a MAGA era is tolerable. I'm going to the vigil. I'm heading to California for work. I'll be back in about a month. Oh, I just got an ad. I'm so sorry that you got an ad on a stream. I didn't even know I did ads on stream. Well, I wish you the best. I hope you're going to do well. I'll be back in about a month. Well, I will see you when you're back. I'll still be here, hopefully. But yeah, so we're taking a look at Indivisible was sort of the main, I would call it the umbrella organization that organized the No Kings protests throughout the whole country, as I found out. And the way that they seem to kind of operate, and there are lots of opinions on this, is Indivisible has a lot of money, has a lot of influence, it has a lot of what I would call infrastructure, which means people and experienced people and volunteers and access to technology tools that allow them to do advertising for a protest or in support of a ballot issue, or I believe in even some cases a person running for office. So Indivisible has all this. What they do is they like find a local organization in a given city like Chicago or Denver or Sacramento or Cincinnati, Ohio, or Dayton, Ohio, or Flint, Michigan, or I don't know, all these other, you know, just big cities throughout the area and small cities too. They find an organization that has the same vibes, has the same initiative, but is small. And they're like, hey, here is support and resources. Maybe that somehow means money. I'm not exactly sure. But they find a local organization, and then they help them take their message Indivisible will either adopt the message of a local organization, or in this case of No Kings, I feel like they kind of found a decentralized message from the previous No Kings protest, and then they kind of ran with it and kind of made it almost their own thing, because No Kings as a protest logo and concept is directly connected to Indivisible on their websites. In the city of Denver, it seems that there were one or two groups, and I apologize if this is not a perfect representation of what happened. I know activism is complicated and sometimes nebulous and broad, but it seemed like a group called Solidarity Warriors kind of did a lot of the local work. And then 5051 and a bunch of other organizations all showed up and kind of co-created this movement. But from what I understand, Solidarity Warriors did a lot of the local stuff. I imagine 5051 contributed. I imagine Indivisible's No Kings, insofar as it exists as a movement, supported, and then Indivisible kind of helped raise it to the national level and get people's eyes on it. And all of these groups are just normal activist groups. A big conspiracy is that everyone is being paid by foreign entities, George Soros, and a bunch of other politicians' names that I don't really know about or care about, because I don't care about some of this drama. But no, this was clearly organized by normal people. How did I find this out? The city of Denver has a public website that tells you who gets a permit for a protest. So regarding the concept of permitting a protest, we introduced an important discussion. What we are watching right now is within the time span of the official permit, which, if I remember correctly, was 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. with sort of advertising people to show up between 10 a.m. and leave at 4 p.m. So that was just extra time for the organizers to set up and tear things down. What we are watching, I believe, could be said as this is the No Kings protest, truly, right? Because this is the time span. This is in the permitted area, which is Civic Center Park and the Colorado State Capitol building. That is what we're watching now. But the question becomes, after 4 p.m., after 5 p.m. and the expiration of the permit, are we watching No Kings protesters? Are we watching a different group of protesters? What does that mean? We'll get to it later. But this is the intro stuff. This is all the different organizations. It's early. No Kings is kind of just getting started. This is not anywhere near full capacity. We will see it get bigger. You'll see. Listen, speaking kind of plainly, there is a demographic lean for No Kings that happened this Saturday, October 18th in Denver, Colorado in 2025. It was a lot of older people, I would say. Based on my ability to read the ages of faces, it was a lot of older people in casual attendance. It was organized, I would say, by a lot of younger people. But yeah, this is just a walkthrough. I'm going to show you pretty much every clip that I possibly can. I have now accidentally turned off VLC. That is not good. Let's take a look at another clip. This is a long clip. I'm going to try not to unnecessarily show people's faces, but obviously everyone who's running these communication tents or activist tents, or it's called tabling, the process of sitting literally at a table and talking about your organization and spreading the word and doing mutual aid and doing education. This clip is now 11:18 a.m. On Saturday, October 18, 2025. What is the clip of? This is a clip of me getting video of every single table I could. There were a couple I skipped just by accident, but I just wanted to make sure I document every single name. No concentration camps in Colorado. I've spoken to a couple of people from there. Aurora Unidos, they are all over doing their own stuff. I have videos of this already up on my channel, so I'm not going to go through every single second of this footage because it is already somewhere on the channel. I believe this is the Party for Socialism and Liberation, or PSL. One undeniable fact about PSL, and there's so much to say about PSL, one undeniable fact is they got the shirts organized. I know with the red shirts that's them. Like, it's consistent. Oh yeah, I didn't show this too much, but we got Lady Liberty and Uncle Sam. I was thinking of having me and my partner cosplay for Halloween Uncle Sam and Lady Liberty, but pretend that we're fighting, because I actually think it's a beautiful metaphor, and I believe a political cartoon / comic kind of first depicted this, and has before in history, if I recall. But yeah, Uncle Sam, which is kind of the strong arm of the government and its power, and how the government kind of represents itself. This is like AP US history stuff. This is like normal US history high schooler stuff. But Uncle Sam, right, represents something. He represents kind of the power of the government. And then Lady Liberty regularly represents... I'm actually avoiding them on camera because I didn't want to get their faces unnecessarily, but I probably should have just asked and focused on them. And then Lady Liberty is supposed to represent the freedom of America, the grace of America, the forgiveness of America as a country. And so the idea of like Lady Liberty and Uncle Sam like divorcing or having a fight is a great description for America being unstable if you kind of buy into some of the American mythology. So I love seeing their outfits. I don't know if they're pretending to be fighting at this moment, but I've loved that premise and I've seen people doing it before. So yeah, this is just me documenting a bunch of this super early, right? Mutual Aid Monday is something I personally want to get involved with at some point, and I want to engage with mutual aid at some point, even if I don't join the organization / movement, quote unquote. Let's keep looking. So we are still very much in the early parts of the morning right now. I have once again accidentally closed VLC. I really need to stop doing that. Okay, this looks like I restarted another clip to get more video. Sorry, more audio and video of some more tables. Colorado Working Families Coalition. You can see, this is the difference between me editing my stuff and me not editing it, showing it kind of raw. You can see me adjusting my ND filters and stuff. This dude on Flamingo, so Colorado 5051 is there. They have a proper table with signage and stuff. No, you're right, 5051, the People's Movement. You know, I should really get off my butt and read the small print of these tables at some point. Yeah, imagine if I just posted like all these terrible clips of me walking around with the camera shaking like crazy. Just me talking with another journalist for a sec. I'm gonna try generally not to show just like casual conversations with humans. I didn't really know I was recording. I meant to go around and take notes of everyone, but was too busy. I saw me in there. Yay, very exciting. What's up? Yeah, I actually am not very consistent either with documenting every single orgs. I know typically the organizers will publish a full list of logos and names of orgs, but I always think it's really nice to get it on video and be like, hey, like there's a lot of people behind all of this. And obviously I have a big focus on just posterity and just documenting what happened, like who was where, what was going on, you know, and whether or not the average person can get something valuable out of knowing what was going on wherever. This is a good shot. I actually asked these people in front of me, hey, can I record the back of your heads real quick? Whenever I'm up close on a person, that's a rule of mine, is to let the person know. Even if in this case it was the back of their heads. I said, hey, I think this is a really good shot. I'm behind you guys. Is that okay? I'm going to take video of the back of your heads. And they ever so gracefully accepted. And I think this is a wonderful shot. It kind of captures some of the energy. Really, listen, there's a lot of rhetoric left and right, and I don't mean political, actually. I just mean, like, in every direction, there's a lot of rhetoric. But, yeah, dude, this is a peaceful protest. Like, it's, I don't know. I didn't check the timestamp for that one. I won't do it for everything. All right, and then I kind of got off my butt and started documenting some of the free concerts that were happening. The time stamp for this next video is now 11:34 a.m. I'm not going to play too much of the audio. It'll take a second for OBS to give you VLC. So yeah, I didn't remember the name of any of the bands. Actually, I apologize for not paying attention. Busy day. I knew Johnny Five from the Flowbots was there, okay? And I have mad respect for Johnny Five. The first band I ever saw live in concert was Johnny Five and the Flowbots and his whole band, which is a local Denver, Colorado group that makes incredible music. I tried to catch your QR code, but it was bad. I know, I saw that. I think there were just too many people in one place, Carol, and so it wasn't giving you full connection. That's why I'm so afraid of live streaming. I worry so much about things just not working. Yeah, the turnout was incredible. But yeah, I try to get people's QR codes too, just so people can pause and get them if they want. But this band was great. I'm not going to play too much of their audio just in case this, you know, nukes the video from orbit for copyright or something. But it's just a free concert. You know, it's 11 a.m. on a casual Saturday, and we got a free concert situation going. So, okay, let me take a look at another one. Same situation. I like this song. That's why I included it in my main video. I like it. Like, her singing is great. I like her lyrics a lot here too. This feels very much like Bright Eyes, which is like an indie folk band that I like a lot. So it feels like Bright Eyes. And I was very grateful to just be there. And like, I can't believe I get to sit with a camera and have a free freaking wonderful sounding concert with a bunch of like-minded people like that. Like, there's nothing better. So the fact that people are able to organize this is just, it's just incredible. All right, next up, I'm going to show a clip from 11:53 a.m. Again, we are going in more or less chronological order. I like this sign. I wanted to get it. I thought this was a wonderful sign. I feel like it says everything it needs to. It's really clear. It's really obvious. Good golly. And then, obviously this sign kind of being visible to the camera while having just the absolute density of people behind made for a really good shot. So that is why I dedicated to this one. I didn't ask this a particular person, but I really didn't get much of them in frame too closely. So classic, just being in public stuff. Let's see. You could still hear the singing in the background, a lot of these clips. Yeah, where am I here? I'm kind of on the north side of the Capitol building at this point. You can see inflatables everywhere. You see people chilling. Big banner. I think that says Colorado resists. I believe this says domestic terrorists are in the White House, which is an apt description of the circumstance at hand. Very smart people with umbrellas because Denver is sunny as heck. We got dogs out here. Look at this. Like, but this isn't max. This is not max turnout still at all. This is probably like, I don't know, a quarter, a third, or a half of where it got at some point. Because again, this is only noon. A lot of young people don't wake up until like 11 anyway. But yeah, we got inflatables. We just got people chilling. Like, this is a peaceful protest. There's no debating that at this point in time in the day, it's just a normal peaceful protest. And frankly, I would say all the protests were peaceful the entire day. So, getting closer, here we go. More wonderful, incredible, inflatable fun. Try on this now. This person wanted me to get their sign. Let me read it. I actually did get to read it in the moment because I was focusing on making sure it was in focus. No felon, liar, no pedophile, no cheater, no racist Nazi. Morons against January 6th. Good Americans. Oh, MAGA. Morons against good Americans. Established January 6th. That's hilarious. Good sign. Clear stuff. I've learned so... Look at it. There's a person next to this dude right now that's dressed up as like a founding father. Like a Revolutionary Era soldier. All right, let's jump forward. Where is this? Where am I standing? Am I on the stairs? I don't know where I am right now. Wow, this is extremely dense. Oh, I also apologize for getting some people's faces so close. I typically... But there's just so many people. This density is just insane. Look at this. Right, I know where I am. I'm standing on a ledge of one of the walkways up to the center area. Like, look at this. This is the density on top. This is... I should have lasered in on this clip harder. Look at this. There's like 4 people per 2 square feet. It's that density, and it took up the entire lawn of the Capitol building. It took up most of Civic Center Park. Or rather, the Lincoln Memorial Park. I believe it's Lincoln Memorial Park, right? That's directly across from the Capitol building. Civic Center Park is further back than that. I'm going to tell you now, we're going to read an article that's going to mention what the approximate turnout might have been for the day, and I think the turnout was a lot higher than what was reported. And I typically am a little bit more cautious about saying that sort of thing. I like to, if I'm going to say that, I like to have good data behind it. Now I'm just looking at a person in a unicorn, which will pop up momentarily. The reported numbers from Westward say from the Denver Police Department's reported numbers say that it was 8,000 people, but something about that doesn't feel right because the density was so high. And the previous No Kings was like 10,000. And this felt This felt significantly larger. I was giving estimates of 20,000 people throughout the entire length of the day as opposed to a peak at one time. I don't know. It was a giant, massive group of people. All right, some more stuff I got throughout the day. Just this wonderful unicorn framed with a shark behind them. Uh-oh, my clip is not happy. Oh, that's fine. Let's move on from 12:54. So I've started slowing down at this point already because I'm tired, probably. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay, I gotta fix my window capture real quick because it is not happy. So it goes. Properties. VLC. There we go. All right, here we go. There was a woman I was walking past who had a Kermit frog doing the double bird, the little meme of all the frog protesters we've seen recently. Yeah, Carol, I'd say they are like, you know, them saying 8,000, the Denver Police Department saying only 8,000 just doesn't. For once, I'm really saying it. I don't think that is accurate. It seemed like it was way, way more, like 15,000 people. This woman wanted me to get a wonderful. I think a lot of people oftentimes think that my camera is a photo camera as opposed to a video camera, and they're kind of like, "Oh, get me!" And I'm like, "I'm just gonna have to get a video, kind of us standing still, though." And then I did. Yeah, I tried to do a nice little pan. Love this. The lady was super sweet. Let's see what else we got. Right, we got more dancing inflatables. It says that this was taken at 12:58, like right after the previous video. But we've just got some people in their wonderful inflatables. What are they doing? They're menaces. They're threats to society. This is the Antifa that we're talking about. These are the dangerous radical leftist protesters. I forget the name of the famous academic. I forget the exact description of it. But there's an academic who described the like 15 identifiers of fascism, rhetoric, like fascist propaganda and rhetoric, and like one of the most common things that you'll see across all governments that start to rage out of control is people saying that the opposition are both extremely dangerous and deeply inefficacious. Like, which is it, right? Are radical leftists a threat to society, or are they jobless losers? Or third option, they're just your neighbors. And this is insane to say. There's a lot of just right-wingers who are also just your neighbors, and maybe have bought into a certain type of propaganda and have a history of voting a certain way because of their family. But most people at a peaceful protest, kind of across the political spectrum, if someone's at a peaceful protest and they're being peaceful, guess what? That's just your neighbor. That's just probably a person. So that's how you counter fascism, by remembering that like your neighbors are your neighbors, and they're in funny inflatable outfits because they think it's funny. And they're like, listen, dude, I'm not here to cause harm. I'm here to spread a message. It's a great way to kind of also make sure people aren't doxing you if you don't want them to. And it's just funny it's entertaining. It's fun. It's joyful. Joy is resistance, as some have been quoted as saying before at different times. More same stuff. Frogs, the frogs doing their thing. And then I believe that's FRSO, Freedom Road Socialist Organization, with a truck, I guess. Oh, maybe it's theirs, maybe it's not. But that's people about to lead a march, I believe. Ooh, we are quickly gearing up to the official march video. The videos of marching taking place. Let's see real quick. Okay, this is me getting ready. That clip was me getting ready to record. I now need to find the one. Oh, here it is. Okay, this is the one clip. Let's see how long. 42 minutes, and I still didn't finish. This clip is 42 minutes long. It is a combined series of in-camera clips that is 7 gigabytes, despite being highly compressed. And oh, I don't have the time data on this. Yeah, I don't have the time data on this because I transferred it. But I don't know. I think this is noon. 1? No, it's got to be, yeah, probably like 1:30, 2, maybe. I don't know, midday. I don't have the full data on it anymore. Oh, it's because I combined the clips. Let me find one of the individual clips, and then I believe I'll be able to tell you. Okay, I have it now. This clip was essentially started at probably 1:40 p.m., maybe 1:35 if I quickly restarted clips. This was taken at let's say 1:40 p.m. And I have a great story about this clip, which this is no longer a clip. This is a theatrical length film. Gosh darn, nearly. So here's what happened. I like to document marches at protests because it's a great way to establish scale and size, and just give the audience general information for how big a protest is. So what I like to do at every protest that I can, because I have a lot of storage capacity on my camera and I have a very large battery too, is at almost every protest that marches, I try to record the entire march. Whatever first big march takes place, I try to record that march in its entire length. And for the first time ever, it just didn't end. It was like an hour of marching and it just did not end, which is why in my video I had to speed it up 9,000% if I recall, which is like what, 90 times speed, 900 times speed? I don't know, 900 times speed, I think. You can hear me talking to different people. A lot of people stopped and talked with me while I was recording. Listen, it's just to really flush this out. Let's jump around in the video a bit. We're now 5 minutes into the video. It's more people. It doesn't end. You can hear me complaining to people like, how is this still going? It's been 20 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. We are now, this is 30 minutes into that clip. Yeah, things are kind of slowing down a little bit, right? But it's not over. It's still going. It's still going. So, here's the thing. I end the clip here. Right? There's about 30 seconds left on the clip, and there's still people. And when I looked down the road, which was probably a half mile to the vanishing point of the intersection, there were still more people. I had to give up because my camera was at 50% battery, which has pretty much never happened in one clip ever with my camera's big battery. And I was 40 minutes into recording, and it just would not end. It was like just a gargantuan march of people. I don't know. Incredible. Like, there's no denying the objective reality that the turnout for this protest was just insane. So that took me, I imagine, freaking forever. Let's jump to a different clip now. Where is this? People dancing. I am now back at the Capitol. And people are dancing to a group. It says that this was recorded at 2:46 p.m. This is now at the Capitol building again, and there is a cool band that is speaking some Spanish and some English in their lyrics. I didn't get their names, but they had a really good chant. I showed it in another video, in one of my videos that's already up on the channel, so I will go ahead and kind of rush through that a little bit and show some other clips. I liked this person's speech. One of the things I didn't do, a conscious choice I made. A conscious choice I made during this protest was I chose to not record any speeches. Like, I chose not to go up to, if you can see here, you can't see my mouse. If you see up here where my mouse is pointing, right kind of on the front steps, the west-facing steps of the Colorado State Capitol building, there's a great spot for, like, speeches, and that's probably intended. And most protests will have speeches given there at some point with, like, big speakers, like literal amplified speakers. And then the thing is, typically the people that are speaking are well-known people. My issue is that it's not enough random people from the community. And yes, there are activists and politicians that are parts of their community, but frankly, I would kind of rather have an open mic. And sometimes events will do that, but I'd like to see more open mics, because when I document, I want to show the people, the average people who are just voting, not people in positions of massive influence or political power. I'm happy you got the speeches, Carol. Thank you. Because that's right. That means someone got them. And I imagine many of them were very good. I've seen many, many good speeches. I just decided for this coverage this time around, like, hey, I've recorded Phil Weiser. I've recorded politicians and famous organizers and famous advocates before. This time around, I think I'm just going to focus on the people. But the good thing about many journalists is that I have someone I can rely on who is going to cover something different from me. And between all of us, we can like piece together a really good documentation of what happened. So this speaker in post, I wasn't paying attention to what they were saying. I was focusing just on protesters and video. I liked what this person was saying, actually. Here we go. Here we go. What do you say? I'm making this loud. We don't need detention centers. We need schools and affordable housing, right? We don't need to be building for-profit, privately owned, privately chartered detention centers for naturalized American citizens that happen to not be the color that the people arresting them want them to be. This person was speaking good. We need healthcare and a living wage. Like, these are policies. So this person was saying some good stuff. And like for one of the, I've seen it a few times, but this is like one of the first protests since the inauguration, Trump's inauguration, where you could really hear it really far away with the speakers that were pointed out. Like you could hear it from far. And then this person says something, they say something important. They mention capitalism. They say the thing. I was trying to get like a nice shot of like the Capitol and the protesters. What this person is saying genuinely resonated with me in post as I was reviewing this footage.
We have people power.
People power.
We can't keep begging them for.
I should have kept it going. I heard what they said after that though. Cool. So yeah, that was recorded at 2:56 p.m. I guess I'll jump around some more and show some stuff maybe that I didn't show before. I did get this in the original one. They were playing the Bo Burnham. I already showed this in one of my videos. I would have liked to include more of these shots. I got a couple of shots of a couple of people. You know, in hindsight, I should have asked about recording them, but I mean, they saw me in my giant press vest. You know, that's just a thing that we all recognize. If we're in public, you know, and press are around, probably could have asked, because I didn't realize I was zooming. I was too focused on doing the zoom correctly. So what I'm trying to do in this shot is I'm realizing, like, I want to fit the flag and I want to fit them in one shot. So I start doing variants of this exact same shot where I zoom into them and then try to smoothly zoom out to the flag, and I'm just not doing a great job of it. There we go. Okay, and then what do I try to... Yeah, I could not do this shot correctly. I thought it could be cooler. I also wanted to do like a slow-mo version. I could not get it. I liked how this looked, though. And shout out to these people holding a giant flag for Palestinian liberation. And then... Oh, I've got some commentary. This is... Let me adjust the audio. It'll take you a second for the video to pop up. Just be patient. There we go. Cool. So, this video was taken at 3:28 p.m. I am quickly approaching my sort of pause period for the day where I kind of go get a sandwich after the protest, after the main kind of bulk of it. There's a person here who I don't remember what the book they're holding is, but it's like Union Songs for the Common People. It's a bunch of songs, and I don't know if this person has all the melodies memorized or if they're reading sheet music with words. One, that's impressive. Two, this person's singing voice is great. And three, I published one of my videos. I published a second video, right, that had this person in it and parts of their singing, and there were some feckless, foolish, thoughtless, unkind, uncaring people who were like, this person sucks. No, this person's singing is wonderful. And the fact that I can frame this person holding a Workers of the World Union revolutionary flag with a black cat, anti-fascist maybe anarchist adjacent. I don't want to say that wrong or right for this person against their preferences. And then we've got this other person over here standing up on a pillar, looking cool, dressed in the outfits that they are, expressing themselves, being public, being visible, while there's an American flag in the back and the state capitol behind that. Like, this is good. Having a diversity of people being able to peacefully do their thing despite being extremely different types, that's the point. That's all people that are reasonable are asking for, is a world where everyone who is different can coexist, as long as no one wants the death of other people or the inexistence of other people or can't tolerate the existence of a different kind of person. So, frankly, in this frame and in this clip, I think this is utopia. This is hopeful. This is good stuff. Person singing was good. The content of the songs that they were singing was good. Very good moment. Very cool moment, in my opinion. All right, so I think we're about to come up on the last clip for what I would consider the first half of No King's Day. Here we go. It's a 10-minute long clip. Just a 10-minute long, uninterrupted clip. Let me adjust my audio again. It says that I recorded this clip at 3:44 p.m. So now we're at about 4 p.m. or so, 15 minutes shy of it. I know that the protest sort of is there to wrap up at 4 p.m. The original No Kings protest sponsored isn't the right word, but like supported by Indivisible, the nonprofit, political organization, activism organization, and supported by local people like Solidarity Warriors, probably 5051. Right now it's wrapping up slowly, and I know it's wrapping up, and I'm tired at this point in the day, and I go get a sandwich after this video. I take like an hour break. I go get a sandwich, and what I come back to is a whole different conversation. What I come back to is a whole different thing. I'll finish watching later. I'll get to the visual. Take care. Take care, Carol. Be safe. Thank you for at least being here. I'm mostly just recording this for posterity. I didn't expect many people to watch. So what I then come back to is a whole different kind of vibe. And, you know, it looks as though some of my footage is kind of out of order here. No, I know what's going on now. I remember what's going on. Okay, I know where we need to go next. And no, I don't have a timestamp for when I started. So, let's talk about what happened while I was eating a sandwich. So, here is an article from Westward about some things that happened while I was literally eating a sandwich. Here's the summary. Here's the title. The title for Westward, and I believe this is written by Benito. I can't remember Benito's last name, but I know Benito is a... Benito Kelty. Benito is one of these people that is above me. He's documenting protests. He keeps up with politics, protesting, activism, and publishes through a formal outlet called Westward here in Denver, Colorado. I just know Westward as local news to Denver and Colorado in general. I actually don't know like how authoritative they are, but I do know Benito is the type to adjust his reporting when he gets something wrong. He's the type to update his stuff when people are like, "Hey man, this is wrong." He listens, he adjusts it. That's a huge thing. I generally trust his reporting. So, heated Denver protest altercation leaves a New York Giants fan bloody and booed. During a march past Union Station, the man and No Kings protesters got into a dispute after he shouted a homophobic slur. So, let's just watch the video of it. I have the video of it. Let me see if I can friggin' remember where I downloaded it to. Here we go. Let's pull it up. Okay, so I'm going to forewarn you. I mean, you've already seen the picture. I apologize for not forewarning of the main photograph here that ended up on the headline here. I don't know this dude's name. Hell, I don't really know any of the names. Westward will mention one of the names of someone who's arrested after doing something here in this video. So things have already happened, by the way. It's been 2 days since this video was up. Someone got arrested for doing something to the guy. I don't know if anything's going to happen to Mr. New York Giants fan for being a drunk jerk and calling people slurs. I'm not a fan of Mr. I'm going to call him Mr. MAGA because he says, like, God bless ICE, God bless Trump. So I'm going to call him Mr. MAGA. That's my code name for New York Giants man. I'm going to call him Mr. MAGA. I believe this video was originally gotten by an online documenting person. I don't know if they document stuff. I know what their handle is. It's at Drew Kartos. I believe the original video is off of Instagram. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I heard that it was originally off of Instagram. Then it got re-uploaded to about 20 different places. The clip I have is not the original. The clip I have is not the original resolution. And what we're about to watch is about to become a very complicated and important discussion for part of this breakdown. Let's watch the clip. I'm not going to say anything. How about that? We're going to watch the whole 2 minute 40-second clip. I do apologize, Drew Kartos, for kind of directly lifting your clip and using it. I hope I've done a good job of saying your name many times and reinforcing that it is on the screen. So if people want to check your work out, please check out this person's work. But I do want to show the whole thing in its entirety for as much context as possible. I'm going to shut up. We're going to watch it. How about this? I'm going to go get a soda while you watch. Have fun. I remember the whole clip, so don't worry. Yep. A lot going on. Ooh. That's probably the recorder. Drew Kartos, possibly. Yeah, that's a lot.
You ran into me. What the fuck?
Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Don't touch me. Well known to work.
Trip his ass. Fuck you.
I don't know who's shouting what. Oh, great googly moogly.
Get out of here, dude. What are you doing? Get out of here.
All right. Bernie Man is officially a character. I apologize for pausing. We've got MAGA Man. We've got Tripper. We've got Teenage Skater. That's going to be the characters in this. But now we've got Bernie Man.
I don't know where they are. Buy new glasses. No, bro. Buy new glasses. Don't do something stupid, man. Don't do something stupid, man. This crowd is fiery right now, man. Don't fuck with that.
Bernie Man.
You need stitches, bro.
I said I wasn't going to say anything. I'm so bad. Let's keep marching. Hearing lots of... Why? I don't know why he throws his blood on the ground. Maybe it's for, like, forensic evidence? It's on video. Maybe he's out of it.
Come on. I know you're mad, bro, but no, he tripped and fell. He tripped and fell. Somebody tripped him, but he fell and he bounced up. And he needs stitches. Come on, man. Just go get stitches, bro.
Okay. That's it.
Go to tomorrow. Just go get stitches, bro. Just go.
All right. We're going to pause. We're going to go back. We're going to try to understand the full context. So here's what's happening. I'm eating a sandwich at this time period. I'm eating a sandwich. This is the 16th Street Mall, which is a long road in Denver, Colorado that houses a bunch of businesses and food and entertainment. And it's pretty long. It is patronized by a lot of people in the city, even if it's not the most popular attraction or anything. Mr. MAGA, I believe, is here in this context. This is happening on the 18th, again, probably like at 4 something, around 4 p.m., according to the Westward article. Mr. MAGA, I believe, is here for some sport ball game. I don't know. I don't remember if it's football or not. I think it was football. Giants versus Broncos, maybe? Baseball, maybe? I don't know. I'm so sorry. He's here for a sports game. It feels like I believe he flew in, right? I don't think he's from Denver. I think that's pretty much confirmed. We'll go through the Westward article and we'll kind of figure out that aspect of it, whether or not he is from this community or not. Throwing around slurs. Yeah, he probably is maybe half drunk or something. Maybe he was drinking. I mean, people do be. This sports ball fan, Saints. So the options, we got a couple options. Either he would call people slurs uninebriated, or he is inebriated and therefore called people slurs. I don't know which. But he's calling people slurs. They're raising a ruckus. God bless Trump. God bless Trump. Starts flipping people off. Double bird back at the crowd. Again, there's a giant crowd of what I would say is probably 150 to 200 protesters. I do meet up with this group later. And then he does the bird. And then what does he say? So, by the way, this happens at every protest. Just to be clear. Every large protest in the country, there will always be some stupid onlooker that decides to confront a crowd of 1,000 or 200 or even just 50 people. And honestly, this dude probably would have gotten off perfectly. And I've watched it. I want you to know from my experience, I have watched it dozens of times where the person never faces anything. And it's typically in circumstances where the person doesn't say any slurs or do any Nazi shit. But then this dude did. And what does he say? What? Okay, so you have now used a slur. And I have opinions about slurs. You may know that, like, in, United States Supreme Court constitutional law, hate speech is a concept. Free speech is a concept. Hate speech is what interacts dynamically with the concept of free speech. So people have free speech, which really is just a promise that people are protected from government censorship. That does not mean that they are protected from forms of censorship, so long as they're legal, by their community. So, for example, people not talking to them, people not liking them, people feeling mean towards them and hating them. Hate speech is bad, right? So here's the explanation. Constitutionally, civilly, according to the history of law, hate speech is bad because it does one particular thing that is not allowed under free speech, which is evoke violence. The N-word, the F slur, to some degree the R word. There's a bunch of other terrible slurs in this universe, and almost all of them are considered slurs specifically for one reason, and it's because they are associated with murdering that demographic of people. So the N word has a history of literally being associated with lynching black people, right? The F slur has a history of being associated with lynching, murdering, killing queer people. I don't know the rest of the next thing I'm going to explain perfectly, but in like the definition of assault and disruption and different fight legality stuff for like cops charging people, there's this phrase called fighting words. Like there are some words that a person is using or may use that are like, okay, this person is going to get violent. They're going to get like that. Those are fighting words. And those words are violent and they can be responded to. In my personal opinion, this is not the law. Technically, this is just my personal opinion. What this guy just said is violent. You called people slurs. You just called a group of people a slur that was used for killing members of that group of people. You kind of lose some of my forgiveness and civility. Civility was gone the millisecond this man said a slur. And so what was the logical response from a young adult who understands what I'm talking about and doesn't care about stupid laws made up by people who are completely insensible? What does a kid do? Kid swipes this dude's sunglasses. These don't look like prescription glasses. These are probably not $1,000 glasses. Probably like a $50 pair of sunglasses. All right, maybe $20 pair. I don't know. Some cheap old sunglasses. Maybe they're prescription. I don't know. Kid swipes this man's glasses. That was a kid. All right, that was a teenager. I'm not gonna focus too much on the kid's face. I'm not gonna go out of my way to zero in on it. Here's what I know. There is a skater teen. Skater teen swipes the old man's glass. What have I done? Oh my goodness. How did I? Oh, I made him wide. Okay. Okay, go back. Okay, here's the rule. Skater kid swipes the bro's glasses. Oh, wow, that really happens quickly, doesn't it? Oh no, I've done it again. Okay. So I don't know who's shouting. Skater kid swipes old man's glasses. Old man runs after the kid. You would have to be a unique amount of stupid to not see a grown man sprinting after a teenage boy and be like, yeah, he's just gonna talk politely to him. Just let him go after the kid. He's not gonna do anything, dude. The kid played a prank. Theft, sure. This is high school behavior shit. The kid looks like they're either high school or fresh out of high school. Okay, guess what? This is dumb teenager, young adolescent prank behavior. And it's in response to a dude that just used language that has a history of being used for murdering people. So the kid plays a prank, right? Kid versus grown man.
Ride your bike, you fucking fag.
Yeah, let's just keep rolling that. He did that. Where does this guy work? Okay, skater kid swipes the glasses. Listen. Look at this dude. This guy is not here to politely ask for the sunglasses back. He's going to go beat that kid up. He probably wasn't going to win. Seeing as he's so uncoordinated that while running, 30 feet? 15 feet? While running 15 feet, he just eats it. No one tripped him here, by the way. The tripping has not happened yet. He just trips on his own. At this point, Bozo... Listen, this is why my hypothesis is that this dude was drunk. Because this is just stupid behavior. This is just dumbass behavior on this dude's part. I don't know where he's from. This is just dumbass behavior. Why? Why are you going to taunt an entire crowd and call them a slur and then trip on your face? I know that dude's a man, right? He's sure acting like it, calling people that slur. That's very traditional toxic masculine behavior. Well, guess what? The consequence of that masculinity is he just ate shit on his own. Now he's doubling down. This man is 100% going to hurt this kid. And what the kid did was swipe his glasses. I just don't get a context where it's like, would you permanently disable a teenager if they swiped your glasses off your head? You put the microphone to a normal person on the streets and they're like, would I permanently disable a teenager if they swipe just my sunglasses? Not my wallet? No, I don't think I would actually. I'd try to get video of them doing it and maybe like contact someone, right? That's what a normal person would say. This man is now running after the kid with the plain intention to harm the kid. He used fighting words, he used violent language, and a response was a prank that I would consider nonviolent. This isn't even probably full-on theft in any way. So, right, he's gonna run after the dude. Right? He that wasn't even moving the person out of the way. He just tried to choke slam that kid. Now, I don't know if that person was a kid. I know the skater was clearly younger. I'm not guaranteeing that the skater is a young teenager, but you know what? Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set the playback speed. We're gonna go slow. I'm gonna set it super slow. It's gonna sound really weird, just to be clear. Speed slower. The guy is a loser, just to be clear. Like, look at this. He's slamming his hand on his car. Uh-oh. Okay, now he's running after the kid. Right, he trips on his own accord. I know it's not fully captured, but it's like very obvious. Like, he just tripped. Someone does trip him after, obviously. That did happen. Everyone's laughing at him, which they should. I love that people are calling him the F-slur bat. He shouldn't have called people that. Hilarious, frankly. Right, look, he puts his hand on the neck of this person here. Oh, and this person's not even trying to get in their way. They're just saying boo to him. Look, is that a woman too? He tried to slow him down too. I think this is completely... Right, he's going after this kid. He's going to hurt this kid. Someone trips him, okay? And I'm not going to get much more. But Mr. MAGA here falls. He might have hit his head on the curb. He might have just hit his head like near the curb. I'm not exactly sure. Look, this person here. And then this is when the entire tone of the video switches, right? Now, the protesters just witnessed someone stop the dude. One, I feel like if I saw a grown man trying to hunt down a teenager for swiping their glasses, I might consider trying to stop them from killing the kid. Because I know what they're trying to do. I think you'd have to be really stupid and dense to ignore what is about to happen. The old man wants to beat this kid up. And now everyone's like, dude, you are hurt. Go home. Your sunglasses are not worth it. This is a group of unorganized people, and no one person can fully represent the group. That's the point of decentralized protest. It's a bunch of people voluntarily making choices. And guess what? Instead of the bystander effect kicking in, a bunch of people try to slow him down and say, dude, don't go after the kid. It's not worth it. And then he's swinging, right? People are using the same language he just used on them. Think about this. Think about what just happened. Someone just got in his face and said loser and called him that same F slur. That's the same slur that this old man just used on the crowd. And he gets to act up in arms when the crowd responds poorly to him. He just swung at that dude. Maybe that was the dude who tripped him, though. And you know, I don't know how he would know that it was that dude, though, if he saw him. Now, listen, dude might be concussed. Dude is out of it. He might be half drunk. He already fell twice now. He's been tripped once, fell on his own once. Listen, people are trying to stop him. Genuinely, you're in a mob of people. You just call them slurs, a word that was used to kill their kind, right? To kill queer people. There are queer people in Denver. There are queer people in the crowd. They know what that word means. And then Bernie Man steps up and organizes. Bernie Man's trying. Right? He's trying to keep this dude alive. He's like, dude, you got a gash. You need to go to the hospital. So all of this happened. I'm going to finally back out now. All of this happened. I don't really know where things truly end exactly.
Come on, man. Just go snitches, bro.
You can already hear the police are on the way. Someone probably called. I'm sure a DPD officer was maybe nearby already. And that is how we end up with this Westward article, which kind of captures what happened around 4 p.m. while I was eating a sandwich. However, I do have video of me coming to right after this happened, the police response that followed. So let's read through more of Benito. What is his last name? Lich? Kelty. I'm so dumb. Benito Kelty's reporting on this. Update on the article. Very notable. Denver police have arrested a 22-year-old for allegedly, hey, could be the wrong fucking kid. Allegedly tripping the Giants fan in the video. This person has been booked for second-degree assault. The Giants fan has not been identified, though he should be, because he called a crowd of people a violent slur and then dares to act like a victim when they don't take kindly to it. Are you fucking stupid? Listen, I don't know what to tell you. My simple commentary on all of this is, one, the man used violent language. Anything anyone does in response to that language is self-defense. That's my opinion. I don't care. That's legally, that's not how it works. Correct. I think the law is stupid. Fix it. You shouldn't be able to use hate speech and slurs on people, and then when they respond poorly, honestly, within reason and in kind, swiping a pair of sunglasses, tripping a dude running after a teenager because he's clearly intent to go kill the kid damn near. I don't, just to be clear, I want to clarify, I do not literally mean that this dude was going to try to kill the kid. I meant he was probably going to get into a physical engagement akin to violence, if not a fight, a struggle, perhaps. And this is a grown man, and the person was younger. Serious harm could have resulted. So do not think I'm trying to slander this person and say that he's out to murder. I don't think that. I think he's out to be violent with the kid. And I don't want harm for the child. So I know the kid, maybe the kid was 20 or something. Still younger person, smaller than him by a fair degree. But why should the old man be allowed to go around and call people slurs? So personal opinion, he used words of violence. Meaning, if someone shows self-defense by pranking him, go for it. I think this should be completely legal. Guess what? You fucked around, you found out. Fuck around, find out. Old man found out. Keep finding out. Do I want the old man dead? No. Do I think even this injury was preferable? No. But the old man was running at the kid with all his might that he could muster, being old and overweight. I don't know if he's overweight. He's slightly heavier set than me. And surprisingly in worse shape. I'm in very bad shape. So, yeah, he did this. He fucked around. He found out. Maybe don't do that. So let's read through some of Benito's stuff. The No Kings protest that took place in Denver on Saturday, October 18th, resulted in several confrontations between protesters and police and counter-protesters, including the incident that we just talked about that left a middle-aged man bloody and angry after he hurled a homophobic slur at protesters near Union Station. The No Kings protest split off into 3 marches. I thought it was 2. Westward is saying it's 3. I really followed 1 march. Oh, okay, I guess I could say 2. I followed the that 2 p.m. to 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. march, that super long one. I didn't follow it. I recorded the whole length of it, which I would consider that is sort of like mainline No Kings original intention march, likely led by some of the organizers of the march. And then I guess while I was eating a sandwich at 4 p.m., people kept marching, which of course they would. I expected that. So it split off, including one that went down 16th Street past Union Station and through McGregor Square. Ooh, I think I know. Okay, I understand their route better now. While protesters were on the street, several passing spectators shouted at protesters, including some mean dude. Shows the man. The video captures taunts coming from a gray-haired man in sunglasses, New York Giants. Man's identity doesn't surface. I sure fucking hope it does. I would like this man to face community accountability without being doxxed. So I'd like his name, his employer. I'd like people in his community to know that he goes around calling people slurs and then acting like a victim when people do not enjoy being called slurs. As the group passes a Monte Coffee at 1612 17th Street, walking away from protesters in front of Union Station, the great-haired man can be heard chanting, "God bless Trump, yeah, yeah, yeah." Then it gets uglier. The Giants fan leading the chant turns around to flip off protesters who can be heard. 1 or 2 people can be heard yelling back at the top of their lungs, and the man responds with a homophobic slur. A young man wearing a black shirt, jeans, and black beanie can be seen walking out of the Giants fan while he hurls the slur. Immediately after, the young man hears it, takes the old man's sunglasses, and runs away. Although he's carrying a skateboard, it is very hard to mount a skateboard while under duress. I know. It is very hard to successfully mount a skateboard on a public Denver road while under duress. I will not elaborate how I know that, but it's hard. He trips on his own. He gets up, looks dazed, keep pursuing. Tripped by another protester. He's just being crazy in general. And then now the westward Benito. Man, can I still not remember Benito's last name? I'm so bad. I'll try and remember after this article. No Kings protest, according to the Colorado State Patrol, there were 8,000 people in attendance. I don't know if I've suddenly forgotten how to estimate crowd sizes, but I thought that the crowd was about 20,000 people. It's Colorado State Patrol, so do I trust them? Not really. You ever heard of Castle Rock versus Gonzalez? Or any of the other Supreme Court cases where we learn that police can legally lie to you and face no repercussions for it because of qualified immunity? I thought it was way bigger, but you know what? This is data. At least some data from one data point. So apparently it was 8,000 people. I felt like it was way higher, like 15,000 to 20,000, but whatever. I'm just tripping. I'm not going to die on that hill of my number. Everything was packed. It was a nationwide, nationwide, the numbers are incredible too. I heard someone say it was 6 million, maybe 8 million. It's like getting up there. Definitely more than a few million people. In Denver, about a dozen protesters ended up in cuffs for charges like graffiti. Again, I'm going to keep it so real with you. If I see a kid writing "fuck Trump" on a sign, I didn't actually. Not that I've ever seen that. I can neither confirm nor deny if I've ever seen that. I will say that on video. But I didn't see it. You didn't see it either. That it's nonviolent. Like no one got hurt. I don't fucking care. Now possessing a knife. Apparently there was a Nazi dude who was doing salutes. My arm is on the wall right now. Not doing salutes. There was a Nazi guy doing salutes, and apparently he had a knife, allegedly a firearm. I don't know. I didn't see that. I could easily pull up that video and go into it. It would take way longer. You can look into it though. Apparently there was a dude, kind of like a skinhead looking. Oh, I think there's a picture of him. No? Okay, there's not a picture of the allegedly Nazi dude. Apparently there was another dude that was pulling some total bull crap. People got arrested towards the end, and we are now going to move towards that end. I also have a map here on Google Earth of different moments, so I can kind of show you the areas and what we're talking about, and so you can sort of cross-reference it with my footage. Let me see if I can get walking. No? Okay. How about I go... I think realistically, I'm probably like there. Yeah, I'm about here. So let me pull up... we're going to go back to my videos from throughout the night. And first, I'm going to show you me arriving to the scene of what you just saw. I arrived late, is how I would describe it. I arrived late after all that crap happened. So, let me fix my audio. I'll show you in a second. Here we go. Here's me. This is my body cam of arriving to the police response following this man. I imagine the man's already gonzo. Guess what? They sent out the entire goddamn riot police because, mind you, this was all triggered because one homophobic dude called a crowd of Denverites a slur. So why are the police here for the protesters then? I know it's infantile, but like the argument of who started it first does fucking matter. Like it actually does matter. All right, this is me trying to get away from the riot cops before they fucking arrest me. I do talk to some people. At this point, I always chat with other protesters. Well, they're human beings. I'm a human being. I'm there in support of them in general, so I'm always chatting with people. I'm telling people, I'm like, yo, I've never seen the riot police out at fucking 5 p.m. What's going on? This is not normal. Little mini confrontation. Like, I feel like this is the remnants of where the clip ended. That person got earlier. I apologize for getting your name again. Person that recorded the guy that said the slurs. But yeah, this was then me officially catching up with the march of protesters. What is this moment from? This is a moment from earlier. I probably should have shown you this earlier. This is just a clip of me walking around earlier. I don't remember when this was recorded. Oh, this is when I recorded the flags and then this person. Sorry, I apologize for not showing that clip earlier. All right, so now we can go back to the rest of my videos and we can develop an understanding of how the rest of the night went. That group of marchers, based on the fact that some of the identifiable people from the body cam, from the Instagram vertical video I showed you momentarily ago of MAGA Man being a terrible person and saying slurs, some of the people in that crowd were identifiable to me lightly, and I found their march later, and I caught up with them, and well, what actually happened is I spoke with some people at Union Station after I showed up, exactly after all this shit happened, apparently, probably 2 minutes later or something. I don't know, pretty soon. I followed the police to Union Station by listening to their sirens and being like, oh, I'm going to ride my bike this way. Something must be happening. But I stayed at Union Station to just talk some people through some of the things they saw. There was another video that I have not pulled up, but I did watch the video. I did confirm that it happened. There's a video of a person being dogpiled. Honestly, I would say, from what I gather, this photo... Is this Benito's photo or no? I'm going to hope that Benito's using good context here, but I believe there was a moment before, somewhere else, where this dude ended up getting tackled by about, I don't know, a half dozen cops. Someone got tackled, tear gas was deployed, pepper balls were used, and when I arrived to Union Station, there was a person who was a little shaken, kind of. Someone directed me to a person. They're like, hey, this person said that they saw smoke. And I was like, hey, I haven't seen smoke yet. If someone can confirm that chemical munitions have been used as early as 4 or 5 p.m., let me know. And someone brought me to a person who was a little shaken up and hadn't seen that sort of thing before, who I believe kind of recounted to me that they were kind of doing their own thing, and they didn't really... It sounded like they joined up with the protest when they saw an opportunity, like they didn't come out with the intention to go to it. And then this person was exposed to all these chemical munitions and the violence of police that ensued, though I don't know what triggered that response in that case. And I don't believe it was connected to... I don't believe it was connected to Mr. MAGA Man and him saying all of his slurs, so... That's my understanding of the situation, but I'll always be transparent with you when I'm not 100% sure, and I really am not in that case. So, that group of marchers keeps doing their thing. They go around, they do their stuff, they do their thing. And I somehow, because I'm talking with someone at Union Station, they get ahead of me and start going wherever the heck they're going. And I somehow accidentally end up with the police. I wasn't following them this time, actually. I don't think, really. But I just kind of ended up where they were going. Oh, I remember. At some point, I did see them off of the Cherry Creek Trail, the bicycle trail I like to use to get around sometimes. And then I was like, okay, and then I followed them, but just barely off the trail up here. This is in front of Elitch Gardens, an amusement park, and just we are on a bridge. Underneath it is the South Platte River, and to the right of us is a store called REI, a camping store. We are near Confluence Park. Yeah, we're just south of Confluence Park at this point. So I catch up with the cops. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? What are all the cops doing here? I'm so confused. And then I realized that I am ahead of the protesters and with the cops by accident. And I don't even know where the protest is. And then I realized that they're down the street and I am at the blockade. And this is a route towards the highway. And I believe the police must have been thinking that this group of protesters intended to take the highway. Frankly, I actually really don't know what I feel about taking highways with Denver and the I-25 highway being as dangerous as it is, and Denver drivers. I actually really don't know how I feel about that. It's a discussion about whether or not a protest should be disruptive, but certainly the police department didn't want it to happen, and they must have believed that the protesters, the marchers here, intended to take the highway, as it were, and they didn't. Guess what? Guess what happened? They turned. They said, yeah, and then they moved some more vans down there to kind of block them. And I should have video of them moving, but I'm talking to a person in the video, and I didn't really want to like have any of that person's face or voice shown too much. Okay, yeah. I did get another video. This is now, you're taking my word. I did get another video of those protesters leaving. I walked down with them. You know what? I'll pull it up. I'm going to try not to show that person's face too much. I don't want to do that unnecessarily. Let's see if I can freaking find this, though. Where is it? It's not there. Where is this? Where am I here? Nope, that's me talking with someone else. What is this dark-ass clip? Yeah, that's me talking about something else. Oh, it's upside down. I think that's probably why I didn't want to show this. No, there should be body... No, this isn't it. There should be body cam footage of me. Here we are. I found it. So this is actually the body cam of me ending up on the bridge with the police and being like, where are the protesters at? And I talked to a cyclist who is not with the protest. So I'm talking to the guy's like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know either. I actually don't know what's going on. Where's the marchers at? And then the police say,
unless they heard that there are plans to take
the highway, which is what I realized slowly. The highway. And what I just heard is the police across from me say masks, which means chemical munitions are intended to be deployed soon.
No idea. They just said masks. I would really encourage most normal people to leave at this point.
I don't want to tell people, like, you need to get out of here. That's just, but also, like, hey, like, you probably don't know how bad CS gas is. And as a random dude on a bike who just happened to be in the same area, you know, if you're not here to be, if unless you have something to lose, unless you have some compulsion to be present for it, I told random bicyclist man, like, hey, you should probably go. It's going to be a lot. By the way, every single time I set up a shot, I have to open my bag, get my camera. It's like a whole thing. I'm going to start using body cam more. It's my giant camera battery, by the way. Okay, and then... So, here's what I'm going to do real quick. I am not here to show and dox the faces of every single one of the people here with any semblance of clarity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to attempt something. I've never tried this before. Oh, I don't think it's going to work. Oh, wait. Maybe. I have an idea. Sharpness. No, dang it. Oh, what if I purposely over-sharpen the video? What if I purposely over-sharpen the video like by a bunch? I don't think that's going to help, actually. I think that would be worse. They take that off. Okay, I'm just going to acknowledge it. I might show some people who were marching faces by accident. I'm not particularly trying to, but I go down and realize, oh, like, hey, like, they're not coming up on the police. The protesters are not going to. And then, again, I should probably have said it several times by now, but the reason I support Black Bloc is so that way if a camera person like this camera person right here gets you, your face isn't shown if you don't want it to be shown. If you want to hide your face, hide your face. If you don't want to hide your face, don't hide your face. I support both choices. So guess what? You know what? I'm going to show it. Yeah, so this is me realizing the police have sent a drone over the protesters with a speaker on it, repeating their commands, because they've learned that if they don't consistently guarantee that protesters have heard the commands, they'll lose in court for any sort of failure to comply or interference because they didn't hear. So they're using louder stuff now. They've learned, unfortunately. So when I say that protesters backed away and retreated, they did. We can watch it. This is me realizing there's a drone.
The drone?
It has a speaker on it.
The
Looks.
drone has a speaker on it?
Okay,
What's
right?
the plan?
This is how you know, by the way, that like, and I apologize for showing this person's face. This person didn't seem to do anything bad the entire day. I feel like I saw them and they were chill. Guess what? All these protesters were peaceful. Just let me say that explicitly. All of these protesters that I'm now following for the rest of the night were peaceful. Peaceful. I would say the dude that said a slur earlier was far less peaceful than these protesters. Far less peaceful than these protesters. So these people are freaking peaceful. I wasn't asking them literally.
I'm asking myself that. I apologize.
I usually am speaking to the camera. I'm not trying to say things like, hey, you must be planning something. What's the next step? I'm not asking that. I'm asking like, oh, what are we doing now? Like,
Speaking aloud. Well, I'm glad they didn't do anything.
I am literally glad the police did not do anything.
They kept doing weird turns. I was following.
The police were taking a very weird route to get to. They kept doing turns. It was really weird.
The time that they were coming here, they kept doing weird switches.
Okay, and then I'm kind of talking with someone. So we have now fully and totally
How
confirmed.
they do it? What they do is they form a kettle.
I am trying to teach the protesters how the cops tend to arrest and assault people and violently detain and kidnap them, in my opinion. All right, so guess what? The protesters backed up. The police set a line. Guess what? The protesters backed the fuck up voluntarily. All right, they chose to. So that happened. Now we can go back to some of my video of those protesters marching in different contexts. Let's pull it up. Now they're heading back east. They're heading back east. I believe this is 15th Street, past the Denner Center for Performing Arts and the convention center that precedes it. The riot cops are over here and blocking them in another weird way. This one doesn't make as much sense. But these are that group. I was following them. Oh, let's get a data point real quick. Let's talk about time. This is recorded at 5:49 p.m. Sun's not even down yet. Sun is not down yet. Riot cops are out. They're doing crazy shit. I realized I thought the protesters were going to stop here, so I put my bag down. And I hopped off my bike. Yeah, I must be off my bike already, actually, if I'm recording this with my big camera. So I must have already hopped off my bike. And guess what they're shouting? Why are you in riot gear? I don't see no riot here. There ain't no riot. This ain't no fucking riot. Gear. Yep. Why are you in riot gear? I don't see no riot here. So, hey. There was no riot there. These are peaceful protesters. The only people that have initiated violence are a homophobic dude that said slurs and the police. Otherwise, it's been perfectly fine the entire time. And then, oh, yeah, I'm talking to someone here. I don't want to capture too much of. Like, I don't like if someone thinks I'm having a casual conversation with them. I do not want to accidentally publish my conversation with them. If I accidentally still have the camera on. So then I record more of this march. I don't really know the crossroads at this point. I can't remember. Oh, I can kind of see the Denver Center for Performing Arts there. So they must have turned left. This might be Cherokee. Can't quite remember. This was recorded at 5:52 p.m. We got the Monkey D. Luffy flag. Got a bunch of cool people. Guys, what the fuck is violent about this? This is just a bunch of people walking. There is no fucking violence in this. There is nothing that could justify being called slurs. There's nothing that could justify the deployment of chemical munitions on all of these protesters. Okay, respect existence or expect resistance. Fuck yeah. And then someone I know walks up to me, so I'm going to hide that. I got some slow-mo. We know it. We know what I'm on about. I got some slow-mo footage for you. Slow-mo footage. My slow-mo footage never has audio. It doesn't record audio during the moment. Slipknot shirt is a good choice. Again, like if you don't want your face to be recorded, wear a black block. You know, be unidentifiable as best as you can. No dictators, no tyrants. There is no both sides to genocide. Yes, indeed. There is no sides. There are no sides. There's no like, well, there's multiple discussions. There's not. There's not. There's no deep, nuanced discussion about murdering people. So, what I would like to take a look at now, so I'd like to go back to Edge. And I would like to soon take you, oh my goodness, I need to turn this off. Where are my little blue dots? Oh yeah, the significant amount of protest footage I had earlier, the marching footage was here on the corner of Arapahoe and 15th. I just want to show you that so we can corroborate. Right, this is the Ace Hardware and Pet Supplies I was standing out in front of. This is the wall I stood on top of to get a top-down video. My camera was about right here. So that's where that took place. And then last, we are headed somewhere else. Wow, I would really like it to reset to north. Do not do this. Okay, reset to north. Thank you. I'm going to zoom out, and the angle here is messed up. Okay, so we are now moving on. Let us see where the rest of the day takes us. We are now... Oh, I remember. I'm remembering more anecdotal descriptions of how things went. My anecdotes. Oh, sorry. Let me change my wonderful view for you. So this is that group. I'm now following them back. It says that I recorded this at 6:06 p.m. is when I recorded this. And yeah, they're coming back. They're now headed back to the Capitol. You know, let's video them doing their thing. Marching, doing their stuff. This person said that they got a cool photo of me. I don't know if I look cool. I don't really care to look cool. Spider-Man here. I think that's Carnage Spider-Man, actually. So maybe it's just Carnage. Yeah, shout out cool people in general. I think a couple of people were worried that I was a Fed or something. Which there is an old saying in operational security, which is that every camera is a Fed, so they should be treated as such. Therefore, wear a black block. Conceal your identity if you care to. Don't if you don't care to. That sort of stuff. So, yeah, this was recorded at 6:06. And then we have a sort of break where I felt the group... Oh, I remember now. The group did kind of slow down at the Capitol. And then they kept moving. And I chained up my damn bike. I stupidly, foolishly chained up my damn bike. And I don't know what I'm missing, but I know that there was a clip I recorded on my GoPro on the way while they were marching. Oh, I found it now. Except it's upside down. It's still upside down. Yeah, they're going uphill. So I'm just joshing with people at this point. Okay, no. Well, I got this clip. This is them. Okay, this is them after marching past the Capitol. They are now headed what I would describe as south. Again, I don't see Molotov cocktails. I don't see fires burning. I see young people getting their energy out. Being disruptive, sure. But that's protest. That's protest, baby. Like, that's how it works. So, yeah, this group does their thing. They're walking. So they're now marching south, and Denver police is still on them. There's like, you know, freaking helicopters above and crap. Like, it is, stuff is happening, man. Let's see, this video is in the dark. I'll get to that video later. Man, there's a clip I didn't capture that I really wish I had. It clearly is corrupted or something, because I think my GoPro's battery was dying, which is part of why I didn't get some of the footage I wanted to. There was a clip of this group just dancing and having fun as they were marching. They were dancing to Hot to Go and just like doing their thing. It was a really good moment, actually. You know what? Sometimes though, as a photographer, videographer, it's kind of nice to just have a memory instead of it having to be a video where I focused on the video instead. All right, we are now officially stepping up to the important stuff. So the next video I'm going to show you, I have corroborated its location. The next video I'm going to show you is off the corner of... Why is it... What? This is not the way I wanted to go. Oh, here we go. Is the gas station there? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, this is pretty close to where I want to be. Nope. Okay, so it's going to have to be here. This is going to be the shot, essentially. Let me show you Microsoft Edge. So this is the corner of, I believe, 6th Avenue and Santa Fe in Denver, Colorado. Let me zoom back out. Yep, the corner of West 6th Avenue and Santa Fe, which I think is Santa Fe Drive, right? Is it Santa Fe Drive? I don't remember. We're jumping to another moment, and this is a moment I've been talking about a lot, and I wanted to make sure I document and have recorded for posterity. What I witnessed here at, I believe, 7 p.m. or so was protesters facing a line of riot police, I believe, once again denying them access to the highway because there's like a highway entrance over here or something. And the protesters speak to the cops. They say their thing. They say their piece. They speak their piece. And they turn away. The protesters turn away. There is no escalating. The protesters de-escalate, not the cops. The protesters literally autonomously chose to de-escalate. That mob mentality everyone talks about is not what they think it is. The tragedy of the commons is not what you think it is. People can reason. And the protesters in this case said their piece, and they were going to turn away. And they did turn away. Following which, the Denver Police Department fired pepper balls at them while they retreated voluntarily. And I did not get the exact moment of deployment on camera. You're going to have to trust my word and the video I'm about to show you. So, first up, I'm not going to do body cam, I don't think. We'll see it a lot better if we start with my good cameras video, which I have already shown before. Okay, it's again, you can hear people chanting. I don't see no right here while you in riot gear. So I'm gonna let this video ride for a little bit during this stream, and we're gonna really go back through it. There's a person next to me who's shooting on 35mm film with what looked like a Canon AE1, so I accidentally started talking about cameras. I do think 35mm film looks really good in like a little bit noisy, dark environment. I think its grain looks really nice. And I got a little bit closer. Man, I'm so tired and shaky at this point. Oh yeah, let's officially do this. By the way, so regarding the time metadata for my camera here, I physically checked it at the end of the night and compared it to my watch. My metadata is almost exactly correct. It is like 1 minute off. My metadata for this video says that it was taken at 7:02 p.m. So this is not like 3 in the morning. This is not midnight. This isn't even 10 or 9. This happens at 7. So you can still see the last bits of the blue hour of light of the sun going down still. So you can see this is like literally that's the same building, that's the same gas station. These are the same crossroads. So this video starts at 7:02. Guess what? It's people saying, you cops suck, fuck you, this is free speech, right? Why are you in riot gear? I don't see no riot here. You got people with their hands up on their knees. I felt they weren't really going towards the highway, but I realized there was a highway exit nearby. But again, I don't really know if they're going to take the highway. It's so many times it feels like what Denver Police Department is just doing is just kind of denying people the ability to go west. Yes, the highway is along the route, But there are like other neighborhoods over there that maybe the protesters wanted to get to. What if they weren't going to the highway? I know, I think it's dumb. A person who I believe I spoke to moments earlier than this video went up to the police and asked them. Did she ask them? No, maybe it'll be later. Yeah, okay. This is why. This is again. I try not to be mean to people, but I just try to tell them what I think assures their safety in general. A person just passed me and asked the police, "Hey, I have a question. I just have a question." And she said, "Can I go past you?" And the cops clearly told her a very firm no. And I reinforced, "Hey, don't ever try that. They will arrest you. They hate you trying to get behind their line. They will freak the fuck out on you. Don't test it. Unless like you want to, I don't know. But if you like purposely take a cross street to get behind them, they will freak the fuck out on you." So I was telling her, I'm like, don't do that. Don't even play that. They will try to arrest you. So this video is 6 minutes long, right? Essentially, yeah, it's like 6.5 minutes long. I'm gonna jump up a bit. So the protesters are talking at the cops. Listen, no one. As you can see, like I really feel like I don't need to show much more. You can see the protesters are posturing. They're in front of the police, but no one has laid hands on the police. Not in the slightest. They've gotten in their face. I think getting in someone's face is less severe than the guy that called people slurs earlier. So, and again, no one is swinging. There's no body language indicating someone's trying to fight. It's a lot of speech giving. Speech making. You can see here, it's just people talking to the cops. Sure, shouting at them, but like, that's not a justification to use chemical munitions. Peace. A guy supporting peace. And then this guy starts saying shit. He says, lead us. Lead us to the honest land. Show us what honesty looks like. Be big people. Okay. I'm going to let my camera go. Here's what happens. You can see the body language of protesters in the back. They're starting to turn. You can hear, so this person, this is a young woman too, so that person especially I don't think is a risk. You can hear me saying, what the fuck was that noise? Because one of the protesters just discharged some of the CO2 from the canister in one of their pepper paintball guns. I was like, this dude's about to fucking shoot me. Like, but it kind of also sounded like he just tightened his canister or something. Hey, it could have been like the gas brakes of a semi nearby. I don't know. I'm just gonna start doing lives. I'm going to tell you how much for the critter. Oh no, I do lives sometimes. I don't do them often. I usually do them for just things that I want to do, and I don't expect people to watch. I pretty much talk to myself. So, but this is just me responding to my own footage and doing a deep dive. Okay. Oh, right. So the thing I just saw, and I didn't mean to blur it. My camera is on autofocus, and I'm having to swap between autofocus and manual focus because every time I point it into one of their bright lights, it throws off the autofocus, and I have to turn it back to manual and then turn it back to audio and sometimes focus by hand. So I think I pull focus in a moment. You can see me fiddling around. I just saw police do a thumbs up. The autofocus is now kicking in, and I realize that people are backing up. You can hear me quietly say, what did I say? Back up. That's good. I agree with this. The protesters are shouting back up, and they are backing up. They chose to back up. Either the police projected their next steps of firing on people, or the protesters figured out or just chose. Either way, the protesters voluntarily chose, without being physically forced, to back up and retreat. I think I'm shouting tighten up too. Oh, I totally forgot that I got some of this there. That's me shouting with them too. Let's keep moving. I don't want protesters to get hurt. I'm going to shout with the crowd. Let's keep moving. Alright, at this point, I'm not really filming. Like, this is just, my camera's just still on, and I'm holding it at my side. I'm not thinking of getting a shot. A couple of bystanders were asking, like, why are the protesters, like, they're doing so much wrong? And I'm like, the protesters aren't the ones with guns. I don't have to tell you. I told them, I'm like, oh, the protesters must have learned. They learned to turn around. That's great. One of the things too is like, I know my body cam is on at this point, which I'm going to show the body cam in a moment. Sometimes I narrate to the body cam for like my future reference and to say what I'm seeing, so that way someone has said it, so that way I can prove the plausible deniability of like, hey, I saw this and I interpret it as a person of common sense as what I saw. And in this case, I tell these people here, nothing happened. Agree. At this point, nothing has happened. The cops didn't have to hurt anyone. Have to is not the right word. The cops did not choose yet to hurt anyone. The protesters did choose to retreat voluntarily. Notably, they didn't have to retreat. I don't think they should have to. Right. Okay, so it is 6:42, 6:43. I have now turned my camera off. I have no other way to describe this to you. Literally 1 minute later, the police start rushing the protesters. Let me reinforce. This is my official anecdotal recounting of the moments following turning off my camera. Just there. So that must mean this kind of happened at 7:05. I'd say between 7:05 and 7:10 p.m. I've heard 7:08 from some people. My official signing off, I said this as Spencer, the independent journalist of the Quiet Part YouTube channel. What happened after I turned my camera off is within a minute or two, the police fired pepper balls and deployed CS irritant gas and started chasing after the protesters. They were not walking fucking slowly. I freaked the fuck out. I was trying to unlock my bike and not get swallowed up by them and arrested. Which again, like, why do you think you need to get arrested? Because they would totally fucking arrest people. They've done worse. How about that? It's a nice way of saying it. They've done worse. So, here's this. I unlocked my bike. I got my camera put away. I turned my body cam back on because I knew what I was about to capture. And I was very pissed to have missed the initial deployment of the gas. But guess what? That's what happened. I swear on my name that's what happened 2 minutes after. I'm sure someone has basic video. I've spoken with several people online who have corroborated what I have said. Not that I needed to. That happened. I swear on my life that happened the way that it did. So this is going to be really dark because it's a GoPro in absolute darkness, and I typically wouldn't do that. What do we hear? It's like screaming, like running. Am I pedaling yet? I'll turn my bike's light on momentarily. I'm moving now. Man, you know what I should have done? I know that the rule is to never go behind police, but I should have risked it. I should have followed behind them to show what they were doing instead of... My main stopper was that I didn't have a gas mask because I don't have the money for one right now. If I had one, maybe I would have gone for it. Okay. So I am now running on my bike, pedaling really quickly to take a different route to catch up with the police. It's not happening. They were walking fast. Okay, here we go. So they're not saying shame for no reason. Everyone's saying stay together because they have now been fired up. Ooh! Oh! I didn't see. I should have used this video. Look at this. This is the smoke. That is people retreating from the police's smoke. Again, they were retreating before the smoke was deployed, meaning the police deployed smoke at retreating protesters, voluntarily retreating protesters. I didn't look through this part of my body cam last time. I mean, it's right there. So again, reinforcing, the smoke happened. And it happened after protesters turned. So why did I turn? Where am I going? I'm keeping up with protesters. I'm encouraging the protesters to stay together and not get arrested.
Hey, I think we cannot turn left.
Right, so this is the moment I showed in my published video. I have now gotten ahead of the police and kind of come around, and you can see...
Good job.
That was me happily congratulating a live streamer who got everything. I really don't know where he is or where the video is, or maybe if it didn't have a VOD, but I hope, live stream man, please, I hope you got that, and I hope you publish it and corroborate what I saw. This is why live streamers are so important. Okay, I guess I'm just going back at this point. Live streamer man was live streaming and like speaking to the camera, so I don't imagine he needs his identity particularly concealed. Here's me talking with live streamer man.
I was really happy
If you let yourself.
for a
Yeah,
second
more
there when the
practice.
protesters backed off.
You're right, I have more
Personally,
practice.
I don't think they have to, but
So I'm talking with live stream man and kind of talking about what we saw. So there's a little bit of gas left. I'm now walking to where the police have kind of moved their vehicles to, I guess.
honestly, I think that was a full dispersal.
Now, they did fully disperse after
Pretty
this.
much, they all left in pockets. Yeah. I was really happy
So I'm talking to another journalist who was recording and live streaming. Shout out you, man. I hope you're doing good.
for a second there when all the protesters backed off. Personally, I don't think they have to, but the thing I was happy about was that the cops didn't fire. They were going to let the protesters back off. Yeah, and then they fired anyway. They were pushing me in the back. Like, what the fuck? The protesters backed off. How are you going to fire at them? Protesters or the cops? Oh, Jesus.
Protesters were pushing him. I'm sorry, the cops were pushing the journalist dude.
This is part of the reason I do the vest. What's up? This is part of the reason I do the vest, because I'm like, my guy, you can read. Yeah.
That is a big part of why I wear the press vest. It's so the cops can read. It's so protesters can read and choose to like turn away from me if they want to. Let's see. I'm gonna hopefully not capture.
The protesters were backing away, which meant they were like, hey, we're good. We don't want to fight.
I think at some point I start accidentally capturing someone who was getting arrested, and I don't want to put them out there unnecessarily. I've done it before. Don't want to do it this time.
I am slightly familiar with this. Protesters
Okay.
hold you for 6 hours, maybe 8 max.
So I tell them to contact
If you need a lawyer, contact Bread and Roses. They're a legal fund for protesters.
So I saw someone get arrested, and I was telling them, hey, they're going to take you to this detention center. They can really only according to the statute, they can really only hold you if you didn't do anything particularly bad for like 6 to 8 hours maximum. Okay, another thing I didn't really talk about, it's kind of a huge story, and this other person who's just totally indie is getting it. You see this paramedics, this is an ambulance, right? It's filled with riot police. The drivers are in riot gear, and this kid is sticking on them and recording it.
Paramedic thing?
Yeah, okay, I'm happy I said it out loud. This is why I speak to myself while recording. I know it sounds insane, but I speak to myself while recording, so I establish that what I am seeing is happening, even if the camera's struggling. Police do this with their body cams, by the way. I learned this from them.
How is that even ethical? The fuck?
Yeah, this guy's getting it because he's like, what the fuck? Like, there's cops in a paramedics van. They're cosplaying. They're hiding under the veil of being medical support staff while actually they're fucking kidnappers that shoot chemical munitions at retreating protesters. I have a problem of using the same language for everything. Damn it, I really said that word for word.
Well, this is how they deploy the people out of it. I have one of their body cams of them jumping out of these.
I do have one of the body cams of them jumping out of these and kidnapping someone.
Yeah. People walking in a road. But they backed off, and I'm like, oh shit, the cops aren't going to shoot them. And then they did it anyway. I just don't know what to make of that. Regularly, we'll try. Is that a get kidnapped?
Hilarious thing. I'm talking with the dude. I know I'm socially awkward, but I actually checked with live streamer dude, and I was just like, hey, I'm going to go to the back and escort some protesters. After this, I escorted some protesters back home just so that way someone the cops wouldn't want to arrest people in front of was with them. And I asked, I'm like, hey, I'm going the same way. I just want to make sure. I don't know. I get a little bit paternal, a little bit teachery. It's my teacher brain. I'm like, want to help people, make sure they're all right. So I actually helped some. I kind of walked slowly. I walked with some protesters and just made sure I was very visible to the cops while I walked, in hopes of minimizing the likelihood of those cops kidnapping them, because DPD has kidnapped people for less, and they've been found wrong in they've been found in a court of law to have wrongfully detained people, which is another way of saying kidnapping. So I went home with some protesters. I walked with them back to the Capitol and kind of chatted them up. I'm not going to show that video. I didn't even realize my body cam was still on at that point. And I didn't let those people know I was recording, so I'm not going to show that, and I'm going to get rid of that video soon after this stream. I also checked with Livestreamer Bro. Shout out Livestreamer Bro. I'm so happy you got that. I haven't been able to find it or see it online. I hope you publish it somewhere. I hope it wasn't just a live stream and it was a VOD that people saw. I really, really hope so. But I checked with Livestreamer Bro and I was like, hey, are you good to go back alone wherever you're going? Because I'm gonna go. And that's just in case people would rather stick together and be safe. So at that point, the metadata for time on my GoPro footage, which is this, is not accurate, so I'm not going to be using it for reference. But essentially, my day ended at pretty much 7:30 p.m. is what I would say. They seemed to kind of fired on the protesters at 7:10. I walked some back to the Capitol building for a little bit, and my day was over. You know, I was riding home by 7:30 to 8. So that is my full and complete recap of what happened during No Kings. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fill in a couple of gaps. I feel like it. I'm going to fill in a couple of gaps and try to find some of the other moments that people are talking about. Yep. Let's see. So I'm going to go to one of the online resources I like to use to keep up with protesting in Denver, which I guess I will just say aloud. It's the r/Denver protests subreddit. I fucking hate Reddit, the social media platform, and the type of person, but I do like the idea of small groups of people that can organize in their own way. Yeah, okay, here we go. Damn it, I wish there was a watermark on this photo I'm going to show you, but I want to make sure I give the person who captured it full credit, but I can't see the watermark very well. So, let's see. Photographer, is that the name of the person that took the photo? Person who took the photo. She's the photographer, edited for accuracy. Rain Emerson. So this is conjecture based on comments of a photo on a social media, but someone said that the photographer was Rain Emerson. RAINEEMERSON. Rain Emerson is the person who took the photo. I am now going to show you the photo. I don't have the time for when this happened. I will show you the photo momentarily. Let's see if anyone in the social media space is talking about when this happened. I don't know. Let me open this up now. Oh, it is not opening for me at all. Oh, I can open it with this. That's new. So let me try something really crazy. I'm going to try to open a photo on VLC Player. Just to see what happens. Will it show you the photo? Oh, it's not a video codec, so it won't let me show you it. How about this? I will... Oh, I have the ability to load a media source directly into OBS, so I will do that. I will attempt to load a web page file, which I don't think I've ever tried. Okay, I am now seeing that, dude. Let's see if this opens. Supported file, yes, no? No, it was not a supported file. Okay, God dang it. Well, I'm really taking long on this one here. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and do a screen capture then. So instead of Edge, I will have this capture a different window real quick. File Explorer. No, none of this is what I would want it to be. So let's try window capture. Window capture. Photos. There we go. That's it. I will put myself back on top. Yeah. Nazi dude did a Nazi thing. Some dude, apparently this is the 18th. I don't have full data or a lot of journalism on this, but some Nazi dude did a Nazi salute. I think homeboy allegedly got arrested. I think he had like a knife on him or a gun or something. Firearm. Sorry, YouTube. Oh no, now the video's down. Threatening protesters with a weapon. That's conjecture according to an online post, but that is what someone said. I am now reading different things that were reported through social media of things that happened. let's see. Some other people got arrested. Apparently some other people might have been attempting to conceal carry a firearm and got arrested as well. That one's even shakier because I don't have a photographer to cite for that. I can confirm that, let me go back to here. I can confirm that after 7:05 p.m. when the cops decided to deploy chemical munitions on retreating protesters in Denver, Colorado on Saturday, October 18th, 2025, off of the cross streets of West 6th Avenue and Santa Fe. Lots of data. I'm really trying to have good journalistic data here. I believe a handful of people got arrested also, and I did not get to see that. I know there was this person that was freaking. I'm gonna keep looking for it. It was before. I believe it was before the Ooh, someone got some. I see more video from someone. No, but it's not the video of the arrest. Yeah, I'm not. I think I'm checking the little r/Denver protest subreddit right now. Help this footage. Okay. Oh, okay. We're showing this. Okay, I'm showing the heck out of this one. Holy crap, this is one to show. I don't know if the person who posted this is the person that recorded the footage. I'm always trying my best to make sure people have their... I'm always trying to make sure that people get their... I can acknowledge who recorded what. All right, yeah, let's watch another. We got something else to watch. I am going to take the risk of showing my desktop by accident. Oh dear. My Reddit account is already unfortunately very well known. So Nazi dude did something. I don't know when this happened. I don't know what the cross streets were. Let's take a look at a different thing that happened that day. Here we go. Cool. Here's Reddit. I'm gonna... Ooh. Wow, what is going on? Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a bit so we can kind of just focus on what we're looking at here. This happened. So, let me make sure the audio's ready. Yeah, so I don't know where this happened. There's like a 1 in 20 chance that I can almost identify where this happened. Yeah, so that is the sound of pepper balls being hella deployed. Attribution, right. I'm trying to make sure I attribute it to the right person and give them credit. Credit where credit's due. Okay, yeah, so this happened. This sure is fucking... Am I hearing the beeping of an electric scooter that got bumped into? You know what? Let's go full screen. Let's move me out of the way. So this happened. From what Ooh, is that Curtis? Curtis and... Damn, where is this? Is Curtis even a street in downtown Denver? What is this building? What the fuck just exploded? I've seen this clip before, by the way. What just exploded? What was that? Oh no, I'm actually clicking too much. What is this dude on top of? What? Anyone got any guesses? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, even though this is a 2-hour-long live stream that no one is likely watching. What is this? Was this person... Smoke came out of it. I think this person was trying to stop the deployment of a smoke bomb. And then... Do we even want to try to count how many people just tackled this person? 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, I can't even tell at this point. Oh, come on. You're like pointing at the journalists. Yep, ow. Oh shit, they're in it. Wow. So that happened too. A canister that looked like glasses thrown from the far side of the... Oh, it did look like glasses. Yeah, I kind of saw that. Wow, so this happened. I'm not going to go into the comments. This was posted by a username Minnie Mortimer, which is an adorable and fun username. So this happened also. I don't have full context, right? I wasn't there too, so like there's a lot of where I limit on like what I can say. Really wish I could give you the cross streets. That looks like either Chase or Curtis. Oh, that might be Osage. I'm not going pixel peeping. There's no need to. Ooh, hey, wait. I just caught that. Look at this. What is this right here? Look at this. That's what got thrown. Look. From the left, what is this? Something just got thrown here. Ends up over there, off camera. Someone jumps on it. I think a canister went off and it knocked. What the fuck is going on? What is this item? Oh, I got it. You can see. Oh, okay, guys. It's a smoke grenade. Look, that's a smoke grenade. I caught it barely. I'm sure someone has already figured this out. I'm sure someone has already done the work. That is a smoke grenade. So a police officer likely deployed a smoke grenade. Maybe it's somewhat possible that a protester kicked a smoke grenade back. I think it was probably a cop deploying a smoke grenade and someone tripped on it or jumped on it. Maybe to stop it. Maybe they put their shirt or like a piece of cloth over it or something. Right. What am I seeing here? Oh, this person tripped on their own. Or maybe it ran into them. Look, we can see now the smoke canister is actually on the side of so maybe it, first of all, you just used a bomb. By the way, that's a bomb, to be clear. Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I keep doing this. No, that's just the canister. It was, I would say pretty confidently now that it wasn't glasses flying off. It was just the part of the canister's handle. Did this person here trip? Did they get hit by the canister? Did they get hit by a pepper ball and trip? Did they trip of their own natural accord? Did they grab it or kick it or I don't know. But for some reason, they just tackled this dude. What did he do off of camera 30 milliseconds before? Or, more likely, what didn't this person do? And why did the cops just choose to fucking do that? Cop's helmet fell off. Fuck him. After the protesters was there to depress the handle to prevent it from gassing. Maybe. I don't know. It kind of looked like that person just tripped, honestly. Well, fuck you. Maybe don't throw explosives at innocent protesters, cops. Jerks. All right. Let me unzoom this out again. There we go. What are we looking at? Ooh, that noise. Yeah, that's their CO2 canisters in those modified paintball guns. Man. I wonder how they feel. I'm not going to get into the lore of how the officers feel. But they do it, don't they? They certainly do whatever the hell it is they do. Sorry. That's a call from someone I know. That's Dorian. Don't worry about it. All right, cool. VLC. Oh, the other dude wasn't scared at all when they rushed to the other guy as if he knew other dude had it coming down. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I just try to be present for as much as I possibly can. To get the deepest dive and fullest documentation I possibly can on as much of what happens as possible. But inevitably, every big protest is a lot bigger than me. One random fucking rando that some people call a journalist, but I don't particularly feel that way very often. But yeah, I think I've covered everything I realistically can from what I've seen. Keep in mind that I don't consider the protesters backing away and getting shot an act of violence by the protesters. So that wasn't the act of violence by the protesters. Sure, I will say the person that tripped the dude who said slurs was a fight. I'd call it a fight. I would not call it one-sided terrorist violence. So according to the Denver Police Department, there was 8,000 people. And out of the entire process, there were the Nazi dude, the Nazi dude who may or may not have had a weapon, the other person who may or may not have been concealed carrying when they shouldn't have been in a public area that was federal property, yada yada. So let's say 3 acts of violence. However, of those acts, how many were perpetrated by protesters unprovoked? None. Literally 0. Made build this process. Oh, guys. People signing up for things in the future. Yeah, I did. I saw a lot of community building. I spoke to a couple of different of the organization booths that were on that strip at Lincoln Memorial Park, not Civic Center, right? The one across from the Capitol. I call it kind of like, people call it, I forget what they call it. It's like organization street, like tent street, right? It's just all the organizations in their row. I saw people signing up for stuff. I saw a lot of people speaking about their organizations to other people. I did sign up for one thing. There was a group representing ranked choice voting. And they spoke to me, and I read their title and said, cool, I'm going to sign up. I support ranked choice voting very intently, personally. Big fan of any sort of improved approaches to democratic consensus making. So I signed up. I saw that their sheet had a few pages of people that signed up. Yeah, I saw a lot of communicating going on, a lot of educating going on. I saw people getting connected really well. And I know just from my conversations alone, I mean, I spoke to, I probably spoke thousands of words that day. And I was telling people things I knew and organizations and having conversations and teaching people. So yeah, there was a lot of community building throughout the day. I think the thing is like, I guess there are a couple of things worth that I want to say for wrapping up. For starters, was this one protest or was this 2 protests? I have thoughts. I don't think I have a strong opinion or conclusion. First of all, yes, the large original movement of people was organized by Indivisible using the Solidarity Warriors local organization here in Denver, Colorado, to build up this protest, which then got bought in, which had a bunch of other organizations buy in and be present for everything. That was a protest that was permitted from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And it involved a march. It involved the tables. And I would describe it demographically as fairly mixed, but older. Lots of older people. I guess you could say retirees, maybe. But a lot of older people and families. I've often heard people describe the daytime kumbaya permanent protests as liberal protests. And then I've heard people describe the more active marches that seek to I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it's kind of like there's a liberal protest during the daytime, and then as evening approaches, leftists come out. What does that mean? To what degree is liberal versus leftist a useful distinction? I don't fucking know. But the question kind of at the core of this is, if a protesting permit expires at 5 p.m., do the people who stay behind, are they still part of the original protest, or are they now their own protest? My conclusion on that front, my feelings are that the protest belongs to the people. Every protest, every act of protest, every act of civil disobedience in defiance is owned by the people doing it individually. How they come together and organize as a group, and what that looks like, especially without formal structures of leadership, everyone owns the protest. The protest belongs to everyone is kind of my big thing. So, yeah, whether or not people are to consider the later group of what I would say are younger people that were marching as a part of the No Kings or not, I don't really know. I think the protest belongs to everyone, but I know people are going to make their distinctions. What else? Okay, yeah, the other important kind of discussion, the person who allegedly someone tripped Mr. MAGA man who was calling people slurs, right? That happened. We know it happened because someone recorded it. And apparently the person who tripped the dude was caught because of the video, due in part. And that starts an entire other really important conversation about when we're talking, I mean, there's another other conversation here. Are protests supposed to be perfectly legal and never get in people's way, but just be people standing on a street politely? Or are protests supposed to be disruptive? Are they supposed to get in the way of people's routines? Are they supposed to garner attention, even if it means doing things that aren't technically legal, even if it means doing things that are inconvenient to others, like blocking roads? That is a whole discussion. I think the purpose of protest is to get people's attention on issues. Is disruptive more effective if it means making some people angry? Is being non-disruptive more effective because it just lets people see without angering people? Whole discussion, right? But then, regarding the recording of what I would consider disruptive protests, we know that we have a legal system. We know that the legal system is balanced against freedom, against liberty, against small people, against poor people, against minority groups, against anyone who doesn't have $1 billion or a couple $100 million. The justice system in the United States is pay to win. It is. So we're talking about people getting arrested. We're talking about people facing charges. And if a journalist like me documents the illegal actions of protesters, is the story more important than that person? In my opinion, no. If a protester does something that is nonviolent but illegal, the value of capturing them doing that for the sake of telling a story is less important than that person's life and future. I do not care more about getting the shot than I do about that person losing theirs. That's where I think I am. Will this channel of mine eventually get taken down because I am not saying all illegal acts must result in execution? Maybe. You're not allowed to say that something that's illegal should be allowed and legalized. But hey, interracial marriage was illegal. Being queer was legal. Cannabis was illegal. Alcohol was illegal in the United States. So what do laws mean? In my opinion, they don't mean much when the president is pictured next to Jeffrey Epstein. Laws suddenly matter a little bit less when the president is probably... With that, I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you, Arj, IRL lol, for chatting and chilling with me. Thank you to Carol, who was here earlier. Thank you to Cassidy, who popped in. I know it's crazy to do a 2.5-hour live stream just breaking down one day of protest, but I thought it was really nice to publish what I've learned and have it there for the future for posterity. So, I don't think of myself as a journalist, but I don't know. I feel like facts are really important. So, cool. Take care. Good night.